good? You ready? Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Hearing Things with Julie and Brad. And today we're going to talk about something that I know nothing about. And so I'm just going to throw it over to Julie and listen. It's Julie. Nails.
And how I go to the nail salon every couple of weeks and what that is like as someone with a hearing loss. So I'm very fortunate that I go to the same nail salon. I have gone for years and years and years. So most of the people there at least recognize me, if not know me by name. But I don't always get the same nail technician because I tend not to make appointments because I'm never really sure when I'm going to have time to go. So it's a walk-in, I roll in, say hi to everybody, and it's like old home week in there, and then I end up with someone who's available to do my nails. And I just went this morning, so it's fresh in my mind. And one of the challenges that I've always had at the nail salon is that quite often it's a non-native English speaker, which presents challenges with accents, rate of speech, and volume of speech. The employees at the nail salon where I go tend to speak in more of a lower volume or almost a whisper. Oh. So I remind them to speak up a little bit sometimes. I think that's a cultural component to that. They often have masks on consistently. So even when it wasn't the pandemic, they're wearing masks for their own hygiene, health, and safety. So that becomes a challenge trying to lip read. Very often, if it's not a nail tech that I've worked with a bunch of times, whose voice I'm a little bit more familiar with, and may have a little more of a command of the English language, making it easier for us to communicate, I tend to tell them what I'm hoping to have done for a service. And then I say, I'm going to be listening to something, I won't be able to hear you. And I'll put on a podcast or music or something. I just set that boundary, and that just sets up just kind of the expectation for the appointment. It takes the pressure off of them to have to try and converse with me. It takes the pressure off of me trying to hear people, because not only do I have the person across to me, there are people on both sides of me going down these rows of chairs or tables. So there's a lot of background noise, and there's music piped in. So by setting that boundary up front, it just makes it so much easier for everyone to navigate the appointment. The expectations have been set. I have something to entertain myself, and I have that barricade of, okay, I don't have to try this right now, because it gets really, really hard. The problem comes in, like it did this morning, when somebody sits next to me and decides that I look approachable. Don't talk to me. I don't know what else I need to do to get people to not talk to me. Why do people talk to me?
You're too friendly. I look approachable. You're very approachable.
Why? I don't want to be approachable anymore. I'm old and tired.
You get to scowl more.
Oh my gosh. I'm sitting there minding my own business, looking in my pocket. Oh, that's a cute color. I'm like, we're doing this now. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I just have to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm listening to something, and then turn away. Today, fine, the woman was undeterred, but I've had people before that just disregard whatever clue I'm giving off and just want to converse. Sometimes I have to self-disclose. Most of the time I don't, because they seem to be just wanting to talk, to hear themselves talk. So I bluff my way through the conversation with these ridiculously extroverted people. Is this what I do to you? Is this what life is like?
No comment.
It's awful. Stop talking to me. So that's where it gets a little dicey, because I can't always set that expectational boundary of here's how the appointment is going to go.
Do you show your hearing aids?
Sometimes. But most of the nail techs know. But yeah, I usually gesture, I'll be listening to something here from my phone, kind of helping them understand that just because I don't have earbuds in or headphones on, it doesn't mean I'm not listening to something. So this morning I explained the Bluetooth the connection to help them understand, the woman understand that how I was listening to something without something visible that she could see as a reminder. So it gets a little stressful in there for lots of reasons, with the music, the background knowledge, the communication, and then the random people that decide I'm their new best friend. Yeah, but I still go because it's a nice little self-care thing I do.
What's the color called?
This rice baby. Love it! And my other bit of entertainment is texting this one every now and then. Go, hey, go in the nail salon. What color do you want? And you're like, I don't care.
Blue.
Whatever. So you do get brought into the experience.
Yeah.
For my own entertainment, just to see what you're going to say. Have you ever gone and gotten a pedicure and a manicure or anything? There's a lot of guys that go to my place.
Fair enough. That's just not my thing. I know what is it? Cuticles, right?
Yeah.
They're a mess. But I know. My hands are a mess. But I'm always crawling. They get dry easy, so I probably could benefit, but no desire.
No interest.
No.
We'll work on that.
No. Everybody's got their thing. It's not mine.
That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's it.
All right.
That's what I got for nail salons.
All right.
Right.
So books. You want me to go first?
You go first, because I forgot what my book was.
Okay, I'll buy some time here.
Hold on.
So I am choosing Tubes by Andrew Blum. And so what this book is is the internet, physical internet.
That's crazy.
And so it traces the backbones, which is basically just a giant room with servers, and the cables that go all over the country and over the world. And there's something called the Transatlantic Sea Cable, I think it's something like that, where it connects North America to Europe and Asia. And so it runs along the bottom of the sea floor. And it's fascinating to think about like the physical infrastructure of a digital environment.
That never occurred to me.
Mm-hmm. I know there's, I can't remember exactly about it, but sharks used to like the coating on the cables because they have to coat the cables into like a waterproof, and also there's a lot of pressure down at the bottom of the seafloor.
Sure.
So there's like pictures of like sharks like going to town on the cables,
cool.
And so they have to be careful about that because like if that cable breaks, I think there's some redundancy, but if that cable breaks, we're isolated. We're isolated. Yeah. So Tubes by Andrew Blum.
Okay, so I just started this book, and I'm super psyched about it. It's called Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and it's by a Japanese author.
Gonna try?
Toshikazu Kawaguchi.
Nice.
Close. And it actually started as a play back in 2010, 2015, and then it was transcribed into books, and there are several books in the series.
Nice.
And I just started it yesterday. I read some more this morning. I'm almost about halfway through. And the premise of the story is that there is a cafe, and you go to this cafe and you can time travel back to a past situation or someone that you want to see again or speak to. But the trick is, it doesn't change the present. So if you're going back to talk to someone whose relationship didn't work out, it's not going to make it work out in the present. That's the first stipulation.
Okay.
Second stipulation, you have to be back before your coffee gets cold.
That's quick. So is it a bunch of short stories?
I'm not sure yet. It's reading like a novel.
Okay.
Right? And if you don't get back before the coffee gets cold, there's a twist or something that will happen to you. And the time traveling starts after the waitress at the cafe pours the hot coffee into your cup. And that cup of coffee is physically with you as you travel.
Oh, fun!
And you got to be back before that thing gets cold, back into present time.
Interesting.
So it really makes you think about how quickly coffee gets cold and how precise you need to be with whoever you're going back to say whatever you need to say to. And you can't change the present.
That gets away.
Doesn't stop someone from passing away, doesn't stop a relationship falling apart, doesn't stop you from getting fired from your job. But it's just philosophically messing with me a little bit, and I wanted everybody else to have the same experience. It's making me think.
I love it. I love those books that make you think.
Who would I go back and
exactly?
talk to?
Yeah. It also gets the biggest sci-fi trope is the butterfly effect, right? So you go back in time, you step on a butterfly, and the entire future changes because of one thing. It's a trickle-down effect. Chaos theory is what it is. But that's fantastic. It kind of gets that rule out of the way. You can have some fun with it. But I don't know. Have you figured out who you go back?
I can tell you who I'm not going to go back and see.
Oh, who's that?
Helen Keller.
Ha!
If I haven't made that clear on this show yet, it's never going to be clear to anybody.
Brilliant.
Nope, not going to go see Helen.
Brilliant. That's great.
Because I can't change Helen from becoming the
it's
default for us in the future. So
is it Helen's fault, really? Right? We can keep going. If you haven't seen that, if you haven't watched that one, go back and watch the Helen Keller one. You want to see an epic Julie rant? That's the one to go to.
Come and visit. But yeah, if you have any thoughts on that concept from this particular book, even if you don't read the book, we'd love to hear about it.
Yeah.
I gotta do some thinking. I don't know.
I don't know either. It's fascinating.
I thought I knew, but now I'm not so sure.
Yeah. That's why you read the book, right? Get you thinking.
Pretty cool. Cool. That's it.
All right, everybody.
That's all I got.
We'll see you next week.